Hello, welcome back to my garden. Today, well, I don't know how exciting I can make this video, but I'm going to start cleaning out my greenhouse as part of the long list of fall projects that I have to get done here around the garden. Some of you may use your greenhouses during the wintertime. Some of you may not use the greenhouses during the wintertime. I'd love to know. Please leave those comments below. Some of you probably don't even have a greenhouse. There's a channel I follow, the Croc Gardener, I believe is called. I don't know exactly where he's located, but he's going to be doing some winter projects, some winter growing himself this year. I think he's somewhere in the middle of the country. I'm not sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's going to be trying to do some winter growing this year, and he's getting, like, I think a polytunnel or something along those lines, and maybe a couple other things, and it's going to be interesting to watch him. And I know, for the most part, the winter sort of becomes a dull, quiet season for most gardeners because it's generally too cold, the ground is frozen, that kind of thing. But I bought this greenhouse years ago to do winter gardening because here in eastern North Carolina, though we do get freezes and it does get cold at times, but never so cold or for so long that I can't grow things in the greenhouse. And by growing things, I mean lettuces. I can do lettuces, I can do radishes. I think I'm going to try something else this year, and I can't remember what it is. The greenhouse itself doesn't stay that hot. There's no heater inside the greenhouse. There's no heat mats. There's no electricity inside the greenhouse. So I really can't grow anything tender like tomatoes. The other problem is that there's not enough sunlight generally during the course of the day for certain plants like tomatoes that would need quite a bit of light. But I can still do, like I said, lettuces, radishes, and if you guys have any other suggestions for a cold, hardy plant, let me know below in the comments. I think I might even try to grow some parsley inside the greenhouse this year. If I'm correct, I believe it's it is cold hardy. But if I'm wrong on that, please leave those comments below. The other thing I'm going to be doing this year, which is something I've never done before, is I'm going to bring my potatoes into the greenhouse. Now, I started a fall crop of potatoes, but they didn't start coming up until, I don't know, a week or two ago. And though the top growth is coming along quite nicely, I'm just afraid that if I harvest them at or before the frost, which should be mid to late November for me, depending upon which way the wind blows and how the temperature goes, those potatoes may not be of sufficient size. So I'm thinking about pulling the potatoes inside the greenhouse and seeing if they can hang in there right up until or close to Christmas time, at which point they should be sizable enough and I should be able to get Christmas potatoes from them. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I have an acquaintance of mine who has a greenhouse himself, and his greenhouse is heated. So he's going to also do the same thing. He's going to overwinter his potatoes. I like to see the comparison between the two, my unheated greenhouse versus his heated greenhouse, that kind of thing. I have mentioned in the past, and I'll show you guys later when as we're cleaning up, I do have water jugs inside the greenhouse, and I've painted them black, and the theory is they absorb heat during the daytime. They absorb that light and energy, and then they release it at night. But I think it is enough to help the greenhouse a little bit at night. All right, enough of that prattling. Let's take a look at the damage that's inside here. So hopefully you can see the mess that it is. Earlier in the year, I mentioned I wanted a potting shed, and one of the reasons I wanted a potting shed was so I could take things like basically everything on this rack, put it inside the potting shed. I could take things like my tools, put them inside the potting shed. My tools generally reside inside the garage for the winter time, and then I get lazy as I'm gardening throughout the year, and they just wind up finding a home here. Currently, there's a bunch of plastic bags on the floor. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I empty a pot and I just toss it on the bench. There's this pile of birdhouse gourds, which I didn't know what to do with, and I've given some away, and I'm going to give some more away because I just recently found out that there's somebody local to me who would apparently love these. So they're going to come out today, finally. Just all this stuff just sort of gets dumped here. If you guys have a similar problem, please let me know in those comments below. I don't think we're going to get, I don't know how far we're going to get, so this might be a multi-part thing, but I'm going to stop talking and start working. And at some point during this entire process, I'm gonna have to give the windows a good wipe down too. And this way they allow more light into the greenhouse during the wintertime. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits for today. I still obviously have the floor to do. I have all these pots to sort and put away. And as I mentioned, I'm going to clean the glass windows. But that has to wait until I take the shade cloth off, which probably won't happen until next week. I can't believe how much junk I had floating around in here. Anyways, yeah, so still gotta go through all these pots, clean up all these pots. This bench will then be clear, which then means in the next couple of weeks, as those temperatures start to drop, I'll be able to pull plants that are going to be more sensitive to the cold into the greenhouse, stack them along here. This way they'll be able to brave the winter, and I'll be setting up my box. I normally do it here. I think this year I might move it down over here, down closer to the door maybe. I'm not sure. And fill it with potting soil, because I'll probably start planting into there in the next couple of weeks. I obviously don't want to wait till the temperature gets too cold, but the temperature during the daytime right now in the greenhouse is 90, and that's with the shade cloth on. So we got to wait another couple of weeks for those temperatures to get a little lower, and then I can start filling the box and planting it full of good stuff. The soil will be warm enough for everything to start germinate, and then it'll be cold hardy enough to last me throughout the winter, theoretically, hypothetically. This is what I'm going with. If you have any questions, comments, etc., please leave them below. If you haven't checked out the links below, please check out the links below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, click that bell icon to be notified when we do post a new video. This way you won't miss the next exciting episode of me cleaning the greenhouse. I only have one winter glove. I don't know where the other winter glove went. It's gonna be around here someplace. With all that, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.